looting situations where, as we saw in Ferguson, it was hard for fire crews to get in there because it simply wasn't safe. And that fire is spreading right now.
Oh, the firing on a fire department goes all the way back, probably even further than this, but Rodney King. That touched off a lot of disturbances around the country, the beating of Rodney King in LA, and it happened here in St. Louis, and the fire trucks were being called out and they were fired upon. So they have no weapons except a fire hose to protect them, and nothing is going to protect you against the bullets. But that happened a couple nights after Rodney King.
It is worth noting that I do not believe that this is a gas station as well. I believe it is a standalone 7-Eleven.
Correct.
Not that the fire damage that we're seeing here is any less serious, but it would certainly be a much more dire situation if there were gas pumps there, but I don't believe that there are. That said, there may be propane tanks that are for sale near that location. I can't say with certainty, but we're seeing.
I don't believe there are. Yeah, I've seen the propane tanks.
We're seeing explosions inside there.
Yeah, I don't recall any propane tanks either out or inside that building. I don't.
And I think it's important just to take in the magnitude of what's happening right now and how heartbreaking it is to see someone's business going up in flames.
I understand that there is a large parking lot for Blue City Space condos that is connected to the back side of that 7-Eleven, so there may be fear that there could be vehicles catching on fire in that vicinity, and that may be cause for some of the fire that we're seeing. I can't say that with certainty by any means, but I'm starting to get a little bit better lay of the land from some people who live in that area.
And it is a congested area, so the spread is a great risk. The risk of injuries to firefighters, people in the area, police. This is a very dangerous, volatile situation right now in downtown St. Louis. It is absolutely not the message that peaceful protest were trying to convey earlier today. This is what they did not want to see because it takes away from the peaceful protesters and their message. And now that fire at the 7-Eleven at 17th and Pine is just building.
If we widen that a little more, you'll see, I believe that, yeah, those are the apartment buildings. We're now just at the top of your screen there. They've been there for several years.
You have, to the north is 18th Street, and to the south would be Chestnut, and then Memorial Plaza and Market Street. Just if we're trying to get more of an idea of where this is at logistically. We're hearing from our newsroom that there's no indication of fire trucks on the way. The closest fire station, I believe, might be over off of Tucker near
City Hall?
Yeah, over, if I'm not mistaken, I believe there's a firehouse right across the street from the old police department headquarters there.
Right, I agree with you.
Other than that, would Jefferson be the next closest, Rocky? Or is there another one north of downtown?
I can't think of the one north of downtown that there's one there. I agree it could be Jefferson, which is the headquarters if you're talking about it, and I'm not sure if they run them out of there.
Then I think it would be the one on Tucker and Clark. I believe that's Clark.
If our viewers are just now joining us, we want to tell you what we're seeing. This is downtown St. Louis. These are live pictures from Bommarito Automotive Skyfox over a 7-Eleven that was just set on fire after windows were broken out and dozens of people went into that business, looting it, taking items, then setting off fireworks inside, which we believe may have ignited that blaze. Now the entire building is on fire. We have not seen fire crews able to get anywhere close to that. A lot of streets are blocked off. We're hoping to get word on what they can and can't do and the threats they face, because they would be there right now if there wasn't a reason for it.
And if you look closely, you can still see some of the people who may have been participating in the looting there standing around. Now leaving quickly, as if
I'm guessing the police are on their way.
Yeah, they are now running in all directions from there. We're trying to get a better vantage point here so we can see what may be coming that way, because prior to this, when we were watching the police line move east from Olive Street and police headquarters, it appeared as if police were moving those that had gathered this way, but then we saw police retreat back towards headquarters after they had moved the crowd that they were trying to move. Now we see flashing lights arriving on scene. That is a tactical unit vehicle, however. I don't believe that is a fire truck.
No, I agree with you. It looks to be police.
Yeah.
You wonder about the smoke damage that could be occurring in some of these buildings nearby and what it's going to smell like when people go into those buildings or the apartments across the street. You know, they're getting all this smoke in their buildings. It's just awful.
And I understand that there is an Anthem Blue Cross parking garage that is to the south of this facility. You're now seeing some of that 7-Eleven begin to crumble due to fire damage.
Okay. All right, we're continuing to follow this breaking news downtown St. Louis of a massive fire that is burning right now at the 7-Eleven downtown St. Louis, not far from police headquarters, where looting has been taking place and then a fire was set inside. There are nearby apartment buildings. There are buildings all around there. It looks like tactical units have moved in. Police possibly, I'm not sure if that was more tear gas, but trying to get people out of that area, possibly to make it safe for fire crews to come in. They may need that police presence to clear out the area and get these agitators out of the way and these looters so they can safely get the fire crews in there to get this under control.
That was one of the issues that we saw in Minneapolis the very first night of the George Floyd protests when the police precinct went up. There was such a heavy crowd presence there. Granted, we should note we are not seeing that here, but it prevented fire crews from getting in and trying to fight the fire that was set at the police precinct in Minneapolis. Not the same situation here. Why fire crews have yet to arrive, it's unclear, but it may be for the reasons that it was not safe for fire crews to enter into that area.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say the 7-Eleven is gone, but you want to worry about the spread, as Mandy mentioned. We can see those cars in the back lot there. Behind the 7-Eleven, then you got the building right next door across that little alley, or I don't think it's connected to the 7-Eleven building, and then you've got the apartments across the street. So, but the 7-Eleven, I bet it's a teardown at this point.
Again, the area that we're looking at here is 17th and Pine. You have Olive Street, which would be your next block to the north. You have Chestnut, which would be your next block to the south. You're very close to police headquarters, the new police headquarters, as of the last 6 years or so, 7 years or so. You've got a lot of apartment buildings around there, though. I mean, you're seeing one in the right-hand corner of your screen. You know,
Mike, aren't there another 3 after that behind,
so.
going east? Approximately
Yes.
3 or so. In the past, they've had different problems with air conditioning there. I believe some of them are for
There's
lower
a
income
fire
people.
truck.
There we go.
And it appeared that fire truck came from the north.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a fire like this, though, Rocky and Mandy, you've both alluded to it, you're trying to prevent it from spreading. And you're trying to control it as much as you possibly can, but it's been going for a while. It's been going for at least 15 minutes now and has grown since that time.
Seeing a big plume of fire and smoke just pouring from the front of that building right now. Fire crews starting to arrive, but not any water going on that fire just yet. The first hoses now being pulled out as fire crews try to get this under control and keep it from spreading. Normally, we would have seen